What's going on, y'all? It's your boy JT, aka at the Almighty JT. I'm here to talk to y'all about trading. So the thing is, a lot of people make trading seem complicated, but the truth is, it doesn't have to be complicated. Trading is actually very simple. That doesn't mean that it's easy. It's still hard work. It still takes time and practice, but the concepts are actually very simple, where most people just overcomplicate them. So I'm here to tell you in 5 simple steps how you can uncomplicate trading and make it simple. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner, you have 0 experience. If you follow these steps 1 through 5, you will be able to start making money in the stock market the simple way. So let's get right into it. So step 1 to start making money trading, you need to actually have some money put away. There's a few different hustles that you can start with 0 money, but trading is not one of them. Trading is taking a little bit of money and turning it into a lot of money. You do need to already have some starting capital put away. So what I tell people when they ask me what the recommended minimum amount is, I tell them it's between $500 to $1,000 to start with. You can start with less than $500. I've seen people start with $100 and grow that over time. But you got to understand, if you're going to start with anything other than $500, your back is already against the wall. If you start with $100, you can make 1, maybe 2 bad moves, and now that $100 is gone and you don't have any money. So $500 to $1,000 is where you need to start when you want to start making money trading. So the second step to make money trading, you need to have a brokerage account, also known as a trading account. So there's a lot of different ones, and I'm going to give y'all my favorite one, and then I'll give a few alternatives. My favorite brokerage account is going to be Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. I like Thinkorswim because it's the most complete trading platform out there. They have in-app charting, they have in-app tutorials, they rarely ever lag, rarely ever glitch. It's perfect. I don't really have any complaints. The only downside I will say is that it is the most difficult to start learning. It has the biggest learning curve because of all the features in there that can make it a little tricky. There are some easier alternatives. When people think of easy to use trading platforms, Robinhood comes up a lot. That's probably the most popular one for beginners. Robinhood is not a complete platform though. It's good for some things, but if you really want to take trading seriously and make consistent money over a long period of time, Robinhood is not going to be the platform for you. Too many glitches, missing too many features. Like I said, it's good for a few things, but if you really want to take trading seriously, Robinhood is not a great option. So there is an option that's kind of in between Robinhood and Thinkorswim. It's not as easy to use as Robinhood, but it's not as difficult as Thinkorswim, and that's going to be Webull. Solid all-around platform. It's complete. Has a lot of the benefits of Thinkorswim, doesn't have a lot of the cons of Robinhood, so it is kind of right there in the middle. It's good for you. So that's step 2. After you've got some money put away and you've got your trading platform set up, preferably Thinkorswim, if you really want to take this seriously, then you need to get into step 3. So step 3 is deciding what type of trader that you actually want to be. So the main 2 types are going to be a day trader and a swing trader. I'll talk about what they both are and the pros and cons to both. Day trading is just when you buy and sell the stock within that same day. So it could be 5 minutes, could be an hour, could be a couple hours. Anytime that the stock market is open, that's from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the East Coast, you make the trade somewhere within that window. Now, the pros to day trading is that it's quick money. It's going to be in and out because you might only be holding something for a few minutes. And that's how some traders end up having 15 to 20 minute work days, right? The con to day trading is that it can be pretty time consuming. So when you're day trading, you have to actually have time to sit in front of the charts, monitor things, look at different news, really be actively involved in the stock market. And some people aren't able to do that because of their schedules. Maybe they work 9 to 5s, they have other businesses, they're students, whatever the reason may be, they're just not able to be active in the market. So that brings me to the alternative, which is swing trading. Now, swing trading just means that you hold the trade overnight. Could be one night, a week, a month, a year, a couple years. It's just any time overnight you're holding the trade. So the pros to swing trading is that it's less active. If you plan on swinging something and holding it for 6 months, you don't have to be actively involved in what it's doing this exact second because you're giving yourself a lot more time in the trade. The biggest con to swing trading is that you're going to be leaving yourself at the mercy of the market. So when you're trading something overnight, there's a lot of things that could happen. For example, you could be in a trade, the stock could be going up, it's going well for you, you're making money, and then one night randomly the CEO comes out and says, I hate this company, I don't want to work here, I quit, it's a terrible company, nobody should ever be their customer. Now the stock is going to plummet. It had nothing to do with you. It was something that was completely out of your control, and that's what can possibly happen when you are at the mercy of the market. So there are some risk associated with swinging, there's risk associated with day trading. At the end of the day, I can't say that one is better or worse, because it really just comes down to you as a person and what works for you and your schedule. Me personally, I prefer day trading just because I do have an open schedule. I am able to be active in the markets and actively watch things and information. So I would say that if you do have that available time, day trading is something that you can look into, but even if you don't, you can still make lots of money from swing trading. So let's get into step 4. You've already got some money put away. You've got your brokerage account set up. You know what type of trader you want to be. Now you need to figure out a trading strategy. So your trading strategy is just the method that you use to determine this is a good trade. Let me buy into it now. So there's a few different things that you can use to come up with the trading strategy. The most popular way that people find their trading strategy or find out how to get into trades is by using the charts. So charts are those red and green lines that you see called candlesticks. And there's a lot of sub-strategies within charting. But basically, charting is you looking at real-time price changes in the stock. So when you see the green candles, that means people are buying, it's moving up. When you see red candles, that means people are selling and it's going down. One of the biggest pros to using charts to find trades is that you're looking at real-time price action, real-time buyers and sellers affecting the stock price. That's beneficial because at the end of the day, trading is just psychology. When people buy a stock, it moves up. When people sell a stock, it moves down. So if enough people were to look at a chart and say, I think this is about to go up, let me buy, it's going to go up just off the fact that enough people are agreeing that the price needs to be higher, and vice versa for selling. Now, the con to using charts to find trades is that charts, at the end of the day, they're what's called lagging indicators. That means they can't necessarily tell you what's going to happen in the future. They can only show you what happened in the past. So when people trade with charts, they're just making educated guesses based off of what happened in the past. So another strategy you can use to find trades is going to be news. So for example, if a news article drops, this company just announced a new product, this company just fired so many employees, this company hired a new CEO. These things can be positive or negative that can cause a stock to move up or down. So positive news is going to cause a stock to move up. Negative news is going to cause a stock to move down. The benefits using news to trade is that a lot of times when a stock moves off of news, it's going to have a huge move either up or down depending on the news. And if you get on it quick enough, you can make a lot of money in a short amount of time. The con to using news is that sometimes it can be tricky to have the correct timing. A lot of times you'll see that the stock might even move before the news comes out. And I'm going to talk about why that is when I go into strategy number 3, which is called using options flow. So options flow is showing you what the wealthiest and most successful traders are buying in real time. So in other words, you can see what hedge funds, institutions, and multi-millionaire traders are buying and exactly how much money they're spending on it. Now that's useful because, say, if you see somebody is spending $5 million on a trade, nobody is going to spend $5 million without having some inside information. So when you see someone spend $5 million and then another $250,000 on the same trade behind that, $500,000, $20,000, another $100,000, you see all these millions going into this trade. That means these people that have access to these large amounts of money, they know things that the general public does not know because you're not going to be gambling or playing around with those amounts of money. So when you're using options flow and you can see what those traders are buying in real time, all you have to do is make the same moves as them and you can profit the same way as them. And you might not have millions of dollars to trade, right? But you can still follow those same trades with $100, $1,000, whatever you do have. And like I was talking about with the news, you often see that a lot of times the stock moves before the news comes out. That's because those big money traders, they already were aware that the news was going to drop. They knew it was going to happen before the general public, so they got in and made their money before anybody else even knew about it. So that's one of the biggest benefits to options flow. Ideally, you really want to combine all 3 strategies. So you want to be using the news, you want to be using flow, and you want to be using the charts. So that's step 4. The 5th and final step to becoming a profitable trader is having a teacher. Now, you can self-educate yourself and learn how to make money in the stock market on your own, but the problem with that is that if you're learning how to trade on your own, that means you're going to be losing a lot of money through trial and error. So looking on YouTube is good. There's a lot of great resources out there. Google, the internet, books. right? It's a lot of great information out there, but if you're finding and picking information from a bunch of different places, a lot of times you end up with conflicting information. It's hard to really learn. So what you really need is a structured path of this is what I need to be doing step by step so that I can learn how to make money in the stock market and learn everything that there is to know about the ins and the outs of how the market moves. So that's going to be step 5. So now let me tell you how you can access options flow that I talked about in step 4. You can go to my website. It's called capitalflow.app. That's my own options flow service that I launched. Like I said, it shows you what the big money traders are buying, how much money they're spending on it, and exactly when they're buying it. It's real-time flow. It's definitely one of the most useful trading strategies out there. Now, if you're looking for a teacher, a guidance, classes, I have an educational and trading community called Impact Investments. We teach classes multiple times a week. We have a step-by-step beginner's guide, and we're live trading every single day so you can learn from full-time traders that have been doing this every day for years. So if you're interested in any of those things, the best way to stay in contact with me is through Instagram. It's at @thealmightyjt. You can click the link in my bio, get access to my educational community, get access to my real-time options flow, and be up to date. I post a lot of tips, a lot of great information for beginner traders, experienced traders, everything you need to know. I'm always teaching. So tap in with me on Instagram. Appreciate y'all for watching. Peace.